Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Some days we just need to do a little extra. Using movement as medicine, we will energize and detox our bodies with this full-hour yoga practice. Asanas that challenge the body with twisting variations will help build the energy and cleanse the body. So grab your mat and let's get started. We will begin on the floor. Go ahead and lay all the way down onto your backs. Get nice and comfortable. We are going to gently straighten out the legs. And if you're comfortable, you can turn your palms upward, walk your shoulders away from your ears, and then just close your eyes and do a gentle rock of your hips side to side, if that feels okay. And then just let them slow down and just come to a stop. And we'll tune into our breath, in and out through the nose. Feel the expansion of your belly, the rib cage. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in energy, energizing the body. As you exhale, just let go of things not serving you. Kind of like a mini breath detoxifier. Just get rid of anything. Continuing that breathing pattern. Imagine as you exhale, you're just cleansing everything, detoxifying the body. Maybe feeling a calmness wash over you. Sometimes we need to get rid of stress, like by calming the body first, and then we can re-energize everything. One more breath. Now and turn your palms down towards the floor. Bring your toes to face the sky. You can keep your eyes closed or you can blink them open. Wiggle those toes. Take a deep breath in and then let it out through the mouth. And then slowly bend your right knee, and we're going to pull that right knee into the chest, maybe holding on towards the shin area. Just feel a nice extension. Now flex your left heel, the left ankle, the foot that's on the floor. Feel that stretch. Flex the right ankle as well. Very slowly release the right leg and let it go all the way to the floor. And then think about pulling in that right knee to the chest. Give it a squeeze with both arms. So just being mindful of our movements. Releasing that left leg, slowly letting it go back to the floor. Maybe your hands go to the floor. Flex both feet. Keep them flexed. Lift your right leg up and up and up off the floor. Maybe keeping it straight, maybe a slight bend, it's up to you. Slide the hands behind the thigh and start to rotate that right ankle. Maybe get a little snap, crackle, pop. Really point and flex that foot as you rotate. And then one more circle and then go the opposite direction. Make it very purposeful. Notice the calf, the shin. Get them warmed up. Then point and flex that foot. One more. And then release the leg if you're comfortable to do so. Flex your left leg that's on the floor. Point your right toe. Control it as that leg slowly lowers back to the floor. Using those core muscles. And then we're going to start to lift the left leg. And again, it can be straight or bent. When it comes up, let's hold on to the back of the thigh so we can really focus on that left ankle. Rotating that foot all the way around. Big purposeful movements, flexing it, circling it, pointing it. 2 more circles, and then we're going to go the other direction. And then change direction. And again, notice the difference on this side. Thinking about what we're doing here, watching the foot, feeling the calf and the shin area, and now point and flex. One leg might be a little more restricted than the other, maybe more flexible. One more. And then releasing the leg, control it as that leg slowly floats back to the floor. Notice what's going on in the back and the belly. Once it's on the floor, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to place both feet flat on the floor. Walk the feet in so you can reach your fingertips towards your heels or your ankles. Hands on the floor. Turn your toes in about 1/2 inch and then gently start to lift those hips, coming up to a bridge, lengthening through the spine, the hip flexors. Maybe lift to the toes and then back into those heels. And then slowly lower those hips back to the floor. And let's hug both knees into the chest, give them a squeeze and a gentle rock side to side. So part of our energizing the body is obviously going to be movement. Movement can be just like medicine. We're going to find our center, hug the right knee in, let the left leg go. But to detoxify, one of the big helpful parts in yoga is to do lots of twists. So holding on to that right knee, take your left hand and place it across the shin or right below the knee. Take that right leg and gently pull it across to the left, and then reach your right arm out to the right side like a T. And just feel that nice twist. Maybe take your head and turn it to the right. Find your breath. So now you're looking away from your leg. Just waking up the body, detoxifying it. Pull the shoulder away from the ear. One more breath. Then you'll bring your head back to neutral. Go ahead, slide your knee back into your chest. Now you're going to hold on to that same knee shin area with the right hand and just let it pull open to the right. Now a few options here. Maybe place your left hand on your hip. You can also slide your left arm underneath that right knee and just pull it open a little more. So you're also opening up this left side of the body. Find your breath. And then we're going to bring that knee all the way back to center, give it a hug. And as you're hugging the knee, lift your nose to your knee, squish the thigh into the belly, and then lower your head all the way back down. Go ahead and release the right leg, pull the left knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. Now you're going to hold on to that left shin area or close up to the knee, whatever's good for you with the right hand. Start to pull that left knee over to the right and maybe extend your left arm over to the side and look to the left away from your leg. And just feel that nice twist. You can always use a cactus arm if you prefer. Finding your breath. One more breath. And then you're going to come back to center. Head is centered. You're going to bring your left hand to the shin. Right arm out to the side. Start to pull that knee open to the left. Maybe place your right hand on your hip. You can also slide your arm underneath the knee from the outside. Just feel that nice hip opener. Notice what's going on in the body. Finding your breath, noticing if that hip flexor is tight, maybe flexing that right foot. And now you're going to slowly bring the knee back to center, hug the knee into the chest, lift the head towards that knee, squish the thigh into the belly, and then lower your head back to the floor. Release both arms and both legs, opposite way, full body stretch. Point those toes. And then go ahead and release the arms next to the body. Bend the knees, place the feet back on the floor. Turn the toes in about 1/2 inch, and let's lift to a bridge again. Lengthening through the spine. And then slowly lower those hips all the way back to the floor. Give your knees a squeeze. Maybe a little rock side to side. Now you have an option here. You can roll to your side and push yourself up, or you can even just roll yourself all the way up to a seated position. We're going to come to a Sukhasana, an easy seat, sitting up nice and tall. Either foot in front does not matter. You're welcome to sit on a block or blanket if you prefer. But just sitting lengthwise and just notice what's going on in the body. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathing in and out. Slide your shoulders to your ears. And then all the way back down. Line the chin up. You can open the eyes, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Let's reach the arms overhead. Touch the fingers. Exhale to the right. Place the right palm down, leaning it over. Take a breath in. Reach both arms up. And then exhale to the other side. Finding your breath. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, twist to the right, holding onto that right thigh with the left arm, lengthening through the spine, breathing. And then on your next inhale, reach both arms up and exhale to the other side and twist. Notice again what's going on in the body with a twist this side. And then inhale, both arms up, fingertips touch. Exhale, palms to heart space. So elbows are up, palms together, relax your shoulders. Press your palms together, open the fingers, and then twist to the right. Feel what's going on in the upper back and the belly. Slowly transitioning through the middle to the other side. Find your breath. Inhaling all the way back up through the center. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale the fingertips to shoulder level, shoulders relaxed. Turn your left palm up. Right hand goes to the floor, but walk it out as far as you comfortably can. And really reach that left arm overhead. Try to keep your left hip and knee down. And then as you inhale, windmill the arms, left hand goes to the floor, walk the fingers out, right arm overhead, lengthening through that right side of the body. Inhale, lift all the way back up, both arms come up to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart space. Release the fingertips down, bring the bottoms of the feet together, holding onto the ankles, and then just give a little bounce with the knees, a butterfly. Sitting nice and tall. Make sure your head can move comfortably, no stress in the neck. And then gently just let those legs calm. Pull the elbows into the rib cage as you lean forward. Maybe using your elbows to press down. Maybe draw your chin towards your chest. Find your breath. Never forcing anything. Maybe move the toes open and closed. And then draw the head up, let the body follow. Inhaling all the way up, nice and tall. Now we're going to transition to tabletop. You can bring your legs to the side, or you can cross them and bring the hands in front. So you're going to come onto your hands and knees. Your knees are under your hips, and the fingertips spread out nice and wide, wrist under the shoulders. Cat-cow, pushing into the tops of the feet, round the back, tuck the chin, exhale. And then inhale, lift the head and the tailbone, arch the back. And then again. So continue that pattern of cat-cow, rounding and exhaling. Inhaling, lifting the head and the tailbone, arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, round. And inhale, lift and open. Last one. And then find your neutral spine, flatten out your back, pulling our shoulders away from the ears. Try not to shift your body too much as you extend your right arm to the front of your mat. Thumb is up, left toe to the back of the mat. Keeping the hips level, just let the left leg drift up to about hip level. Flexing your foot so the toes are pointing to the floor on that left leg. Pull your left shoulder away from the ears and feel that core working. Embrace any shakiness that you might have. One more breath, and then we'll bring the hand slowly to the floor and then the knee. Again, leveling out your back. Make sure you're not rounding or arching. Extend that left arm to the front of the mat. Thumb is up. Gently bring your right toe to the back of the mat. Flex the foot. Keep the hips level as you lift that leg straight up. Pushing your heel to the back wall. Looking at your thumb on the floor. Finding your breath. Extended tabletop. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, bring the hand to the floor, knee to the floor. Bring your knees apart, feet together. Balasana, let's find our child's pose. So slide your hips to your heels, walk your arms forward as you mount your forehead to the thigh, belly between the thighs. Find your breath. Maybe let your elbows rest on the floor if that's in your practice. I'm going to give a couple options here. One option, maybe you bring your palms together. Maybe you draw your thumbs towards your spine as you walk your elbows forward on that mat, stretching through the triceps, and going back to your breath. One more breath. And then we'll bring the fingertips back to the floor. Let your head come up. You're going to stay nice and low with your hips to your heels. Plant your left hand on the floor out in front of you. Take your right palm up. And you're going to draw the palm underneath the arm, but diagonally upward towards kind of the outside of your left hand, and lower your shoulder towards the floor. Then start to walk your left fingertips like tents towards the front of the mat. So you're getting a little twist here, but an extra shoulder stretch, wiggle those right fingers. So the hand's not directly across at 90, it's more reaching toward diagonally up towards the front of your mat. Getting a little more into the lats here and the outside part right below, like in the shoulder blades and below. One more breath. You're going to slide your left palm to the floor, closer to the arm so it can assist you to come up. Release the right arm, place the palm on the floor. Your left hand is coming up. You're sliding it underneath that right arm, but push it upward diagonally. So you can start to lower onto that left shoulder, head to the floor, and then we pop our right fingertips up like tents and then walk that arm forward, that right arm. Wiggle your left fingers. Make adjustments if you have any shoulder injuries or tightness. Finding your breath. Enjoy the little twist here as well. Now that right hand, the palm's going to shift to the floor, coming closer to the head, using it to come all the way back up onto those hands. Walking the hands forward, find your child's pose one more time, stretching through the arms. It might feel a little easier now. And then a gentle shift of your hips side to side. Stretch out that low back. And then when you find your middle, we're going to spread out the fingers. We're going to shift ourselves forward so our shoulders are coming closer over those wrists. Tuck your back toes. Find your downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and then just pedal your feet. Walk your dog. Shifting those hips side to side as you walk your dog. Keep on walking, one and then the other. Keep the fingertips spread out and the fingers and the palms pressed into the floor, and then find your downward facing dog. Melt the heels towards the floor, maybe bend the knees a bit. Head between the thighs. So along with our twisting, like I said, we're going to have to do some energizing work. So you're going to reach that right leg up, but keep the hips level. Keep them level, just energizing that left leg on the floor. Do maybe a little bend and straighten of your left leg, the one you're standing on. Bend and straighten. Notice if that heel can get a little closer to the floor. One more. And then you can bend the right knee. And you're going to pull that right knee towards the nose. And then place that right foot behind your right wrist. Bring your left foot forward. Find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen, hands on the shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise. Tap the fingertips and then exhale, swan dive, forward fold all the way back down. Place your hands on the floor, bend those knees, take your right foot back, so you're coming to a lunge, and then the left leg for a full plank. Rock forward on those toes, deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. You can be on your knees if you need to, lowering your belly to the floor. Untuck your toes, slide your hands out, right out towards the edges of your mat. Inhale first by lifting just your upper body, maybe pressing into the palms slightly, and then lift the palms off the floor. Feel the upper body firing up, working to hold you up. Place the palms close to the rib cage. As your chin comes down, press yourself back up and back into downward facing dog. So it's slow and controlled and purposeful movements. Bend your knees slightly, draw your chest towards your thighs, head between the arms. Now from here, let's place that, focus on your right foot, staying on the mat. Lengthen that left leg, lifting it up to about hip, keeping the hips level. If we open them up, that leg is going to go across the body. So you want to keep it level. And then bend and straighten that right leg. Bend and straighten. Just notice what's going on. Is the glute working? Is the calf stretching? One more. And then plant that heel. And then bend your left knee. Pull the knee towards your nose. And then plant the foot behind your left hand. Bring the other hand forward. Forward fold. Hands on the shins, flat back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, rise. Tap the fingertips. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. All the way back down, bend the knees. Left foot back first, then right foot. Hands under the shoulders. Feel free to be on your knees, chaturanga. Option, up dog or cobra. And then downward facing dog. Find your breath here. Spread out those fingers. And now we're going to plant that left foot, lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Now you can stack the hips, opening things up. Now from here, you're going to bring your right foot between your hands and then lower your left knee all the way to the floor. Walk your hands up onto your right thigh, nice and long. Now option here to lift your left arm, then your right. Press just the palms together. Now we're going to take that left elbow and we're going to pull it and pour it towards that right thigh. Press your palms together, stack those shoulders. And let's just hold and breathe this here and pause. Now you have an option. You can also tuck your back toe and extend that back leg straight. Feel that twist, enjoy that stretch. And then lower that knee back to the floor. Slowly unwind, bring your palms back to heart space. And then twist to your left, but push your right knee open. Push it open, just feel it. Maybe rock onto the outside edge of your foot, be mindful of your knee, and then back to foot flat. Rotate back to center, hands on the floor. Step back to plank. Chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. We might be feeling those hips starting to open a bit. The energy in the body is rising. We're detoxifying at the same time. Now you're going to plant your right foot. Start to lift your left leg, three-legged dog. Bending your knees, stacking those hips. Feel everything opening up, stretching through the belly and the rib cage. Now you're going to take your left foot between your hands. If you need to use your arm to bring it in front, that's fine. And then you're going to lower your left knee to the floor. And you're going to walk yourself up onto the thigh. Back toe is tucked under. Find your breath. Notice that right hip flexor stretching out. Option to lift your right hand. Option to lift your left hand. We're going to bring the palms together and then bring your right elbow to your left thigh. Nice little twist. Press those palms and stack those shoulders. And again, hold it here. Enjoy. Feel that nice twist in the belly as it presses against the thigh. Now option, you can straighten out that back leg. We're just holding it here. If you have variations that you would like, you can expand on them. And then we're going to lower the knee back down. Slowly come back to center with those palms. Now you're going to let your left knee drop open, twist slightly to the right. Bring the bottom of your foot back to the floor, palms to front, and down to the floor. Step back into your plank. Nice and strong. Feel free to be on your knees. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath in. I like to prep before we do our chaturanga. Lowering down. As you exhale, inhale, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And just melt into the fingertips. Now we're going to draw our bodies, our legs up into the tippy toes. Spread out those toes, back into the heels. Now I want you to step, hop, or walk both feet forward towards your hands. But once you get there, walk those big toes together. And then bend the knees so your belly is on the thighs. You can just hang out here, nice and solid. And then Utkatasana, chair pose. Lift the upper body, drop those hips down. And think about the shoulders. Where are they? Maybe bring them down. If it's hard on the shoulders to have the arms up, you can always have your palms at heart space because we will be meeting you there in a moment. But first, let's inhale, rise with the legs, straighten up. Good, palms together, and then exhale, back to chair pose. Melting into those feet, hips are down. Now you can take your right elbow and you're gonna bring it, or the tricep, to the left thigh. Twist in that chair pose. Stack your hands. Stack your shoulders. Option to reach your left hand to the floor, right arm up to the sky. And breathe. Nice twist here. One more breath. And then you'll slowly bring the hands together. Stack those shoulders and then transition all the way to the other side. That's it. You got this. You got this. Stack those shoulders. Breathe. Now, option to open. And sometimes the arm slides. You can make adjustments. Option to open the arms. Embrace that shakiness. I'm shaking too. Sometimes this can be a little challenging. Feel those legs working. One more breath. Open things up. And then we're going to bring the palms together to heart space. Stack those shoulders. Bring the hands back to center. Fingertips on the floor. Straighten the legs. Heel toe your feet apart about 1 fist distance or 2. Shake out those legs a little. Hands on the shins. Lengthen the spine. Flat back. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, rise. All the way up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Find your mountain. Feel your feet grounding into the earth. Do you feel a little energized? And we're kind of detoxing too, right? 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. Open up that heart space, feeling so good. Breathe. Check in with the heart as it beats in our chest. We're going to take the right foot back here, and we're going to go to warrior 1. So take a big step back and plant that whole foot into the floor. Draw the arms up, and then the shoulders down. Option to press the palms together. Ears in alignment and with the biceps, pressing into your left knee. Make sure your knee is over your ankle, not your toe, and the hips are facing the front of your mat. Find your power. Feel your energy. You're energizing from the back of that outer right edge of the foot all the way to the fingertips. Another breath. Now you're going to take a bigger step back. Let's rotate to warrior 2. Extending to the front and back of the mat with the arms, but now your hips and your shoulders are facing the side of the mat. Bend into that left knee. Make sure you can see your big toe on the left, and your knee is not collapsing inward, but pushing open to the left. Leveling out those shoulders. Find your breath. Now you're going to inhale, touch the fingertips, turn those toes to the outside of the mat so you can find your star. And then you're going to bend the knees and find your goddess. Lengthening, opening things up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, back into goddess. Make adjustments with the feet if you need to. Open up. Find your power. Good. Lift your right heel and then the left. Both heels off the floor. Lower the right, then the left. Extend back to star. Bring your palms together. Good. Pivot your right foot to the outside edge of the mat, left foot back to the front of the mat. Bend into the left knee. So you're turning towards the front of your mat again, but you're peeling that back right heel off the floor. So you're coming to a crescent lunge. Extend those arms up, reaching it back. Find your breath. Now from here, bring the palms to heart space. Keep your crescent lunge with the legs. Twist to your left, bending into that front knee. Maybe extend the arms to the front and back of your mat. Let's turn the thumbs up. Reach your left hand to the right thigh, right arm up to the sky. Another breath. And then you're going to windmill both hands all the way back to the floor. And step back foot forward, forward fold. And just hang out here. You can hold the elbows. You can sway side to side. Enjoy that forward fold. Finding your breath. And then hands onto the shins, lengthen flat back. Inhaling, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, rise. All the way up, exhale, palms to heart space. Find your mountain. Ground into the earth, palms are forward. Look down at your toes, make sure they're straight. And find your breath. Now, are you excited? We're good to do the other side. So here, let's take that left foot back. Find your warrior one. Draw those arms up. Bend into that front knee. Both hips forward. Now, things that can inhibit what's going on here, I want you to pay attention if you have any challenges. If you have shoulder issues, you can always have your palms together at heart space. If you have a tight calf, you might want to go up and down. I'm saying that because I have a really tight calf on my left side. Bend into that front right knee, hips forward. Find your breath. Maybe it's your left hip flexor that's tight. Just breathe into it. Let go of any judgment. Just enjoy that stretch. Now we're going to open up to warrior two. So you're going to step those feet a little wider. Your right foot's to the front of the mat, left foot to the back, outer edge, extend the arms. Now your hips and your shoulders are sideways, side of the mat, arms front and back. Bend into that front knee. Make sure you can see your big toe and your knee is pushing open to the right. Lengthening, looking over those right fingertips. Nice, strong arms. Find your breath. You're almost there. You're going to straighten both legs, tap the fingers, turn the toes to the edges of your mat. Find your star. And then you're going to bend the knees, open to goddess. Find your breath, feel that strength. Notice maybe you shift your hips side to side and then sink a little deeper. Open up the chest. Lift your left heel and then right heel, both heels off the floor. Find your balance. Embrace this. Then back into those heels. Find your star. Open up and then back into goddess. We're going to bring our palms together. Straighten out the legs. Turn your right foot back to the front of the mat, left leg to the outside edge. As you pivot, bend that front right knee. You're turning towards the front of your mat again. So if you're on opposite legs of me, that's okay. Pull your back heel off because you're finding your crescent lunge. Take your time drawing the arms up, finding your balance. If you need to hold on to something, that's fine. A wall or a chair. So you're really opening up again those hip, that left hip flexor, thumbs towards the back of the mat. Find your breath. Now we're going to bring our palms together to heart space. Good. Draw the chin in, alignment, twist to your right. Option to extend the arm to the front and back of the mat. Thumbs come up. Open up that chest. Feel that nice twist. One more breath. Now let's windmill both hands to the floor. Step back into plank. Nice and strong. Option to meet us in downward dog or chaturanga for full vinyasa flow. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And find your breath. Melt those shoulders away. And again, you can always take a child's pose if you need it. Listen to your body. Up into the toes, back into the heels. Now from here, I want you to walk your feet a little bit wider onto your mat and then turn those toes out. Good. And you're going to start to walk your hands backwards so they come towards your feet. So your legs are a little wider than your hips, your toes turned out. And then I want you to inhale, lift the arms, lift the body, come all the way up. Exhale, bring the palms to heart space as you exhale. Good, feet are wide. Slowly bend the knees, sit your hips back, find your yogi squat. Lowering down, melting into it. Lengthen through the spine. Find your breath. So good for the knees and the hips. One more breath here. And then we're going to plant the fingertips on the floor, straighten out the legs. Inhale, rise. And let's do one more yogi squat as you bring the palms together, lower back down. And just melt into it. See about getting those triceps inside those knees. Feel free to use a block, never force anything. And you're nice and tall. Feel like as we press into those hips and those knees, we're energizing the body. And we're letting stress go. Just let it go. Exhale and inhale. Energize and detoxify. Slowly bring those hands to the floor. Let your hips come up. Walk the hands forward, realign those feet back into your downward facing dog, and then pedal out your feet. Walk your dog. Notice the hips. Notice the calf muscles. Find your down dog. Chest is opening towards the thighs. Knees are bent or soft. Now we're going to work our way to pigeon. So melt your left foot down, right leg comes up, three-legged dog. I want you to bend both knees first, bring the knees to touch, and then extend both legs straight, left leg straight, right leg to the sky. And then as you bend the right knee, pull it towards your right ankle, finding your pigeon. So your right knee goes to the right wrist, right ankle to the left wrist. Now, as you sit down onto your right hip, rock yourself side to side. You're trying to get your left knee on the floor, left foot, top of the foot on the floor, and just rock it. Let the body adjust. If the floor seems far away and you have knee issues, please feel free to sit on a block or blanket or a pillow. And then you're going to melt your body towards the floor. And just a reminder, you can always do a reclining pigeon. If you have knee issues, you would just bend your right ankle over your left thigh, and you can reach through the middle of the legs and hold on to your left thigh as you lay on your back. So it's a variation of pigeon that you are free to take. The goal of yoga is to listen to your body. Make sure today after class you drink lots of water throughout the day to continue to detoxify after our lovely twists. So speaking of twists, we're going to add a little extra here, optional. You're going to walk your left hand out in front of you and then take your right arm underneath, palm up, and slide it underneath so you're lowering to your shoulder. You Taking a little twist here. Let your hand rest, the back of your hand on the floor. We're going to do 2 different twists here, not staying too long, and then slide your left hand back by your head. Use it to come up. Reach your right hand in front of you and take your left arm and slide it under the right and twist the opposite way. So one side might be way easier than the other. Another breath. Wiggle those fingers. And then you're going to bring your right hand close to the body. Walk both hands towards the floor, palms down, open up, stretching out that left hip flexor. Now you're going to tuck your back toe under, and you're going to slide yourself back to plank, and then shift to a downward facing dog. Relax your shoulders, and then you're going to lift your left leg up, and let's bend both knees, bring the knees to touch, and then extend them that back up. Now you're going to bring your left knee to your left wrist, and your left ankle to your right wrist, finding your pigeon on the other side. Now you're sliding back to the top of the knee, top of the foot. Shift your body side to side, just like the other first side we did. You can always do a reclining pigeon on the other leg crossed. Once you've shifted your body side to side, melting into it. And again, sit on a block. One side might be different than the other. Maybe you get into this side and the knee does bother you and you need to do a reclining pigeon. Maybe you need to throw a block or pillow under the glute, and that helps take a little pressure off of that knee as well. So it's up to you. Now, if you want to add those twists, we're going to reach the right arm out in front of us. Left arm, palm side up, slides under and lower towards that left shoulder and head. Little extra twist. Nice shoulder stretch at the same time. And again, not too long on this side. Bring the right hand in. Slide the left arm out, place it out in front of you. Palm down, slide the right arm under and twist into that side. So again, if you're on a block or blanket, I would not recommend doing the twist. Just stay where you are and practice getting that mobility up in the hip. That hamstring, that glute stretching out here. And a little shoulder. Find your breath. Feels so good. Now we're going to bring the left hand in close to the head. Use it to bring yourself up. Untwisting, planting both hands on the floor, lengthening through the spine, the upper back, opening things up, feeling that right hip stretching out. Now from here, if you're on a block or blanket, you'll slide it out. We're going to sit on our left hip. And you're going to pull that right leg all the way forward and see if you can maybe cross it over your left thigh, planting the foot on the floor. Now, if it comes off the floor, not quite there, feel free to keep it in front of the shin. Otherwise, we're going to grab hold of that right knee with the left arm. Reach your right arm back, lengthen and twist. Nice glute stretch. Option, if you want something a little more, you can also bring the outside of your tricep or elbow to the outside of that. So your left arm is going over your right knee, and you can even try to lower the hand towards the floor or reach for your left knee on the floor. A little extra deep twist. If it bothers your shoulder, then don't reach the arm. Find your breath. Now, if you're holding on with the arm, you're going to slowly let that arm go. Unwind and untwist. So bring both legs forward, extend them out, give them a shake. Sitting up nice and tall, find your Dandasana. Now you're going to bend your right leg and you're going to tuck your left foot underneath that right thigh. And you're going to, we just did that side. You're in your Dandasana. You're going to bend your left knee. You're going to pull that right foot underneath the left thigh. And then you're going to pull your left leg across the right. So placing it on the floor. Again, same thing. If it doesn't go, just hold it in front and give it a hug. You're going to take your right arm and wrap it around that left knee. Left arm as a kickstand. Lengthen through the spine. And breathe. So we give you options here. Another option is to bring your right tricep or elbow on the outside of that left knee. You can reach it down to your hand. If you want more of a challenge, reach. You can either do shin or you can even reach for your knee. Now it's a little more intense, especially if you have tight shoulders or a tight hip. Be mindful of the elbow and that shoulder. And find your breath. One more breath. And then you're going to release that arm. Slowly unwind. Bring the hands behind you, fingertips facing the front. Slowly unwind your legs. Extend them out in front and give them a shake. Fingertips facing the front. Open up the chest. I want you to bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. We're going to do a reverse table. So I want you to slowly lift those hips off the floor. Don't let your head drop back, but just look up at the ceiling so your neck is nice and long, opening up through those shoulders, finding your breath, lifting the hips. One more breath here. And then we slowly lower the hips, but towards your feet. Lower your hips towards your feet. Draw your feet together and bring them up to about 90, so they're level, parallel with the floor. Walk your hands forward towards the front. Place your fingertips on the floor. If you need to hold on, feel free. Find your balance, lengthen through the spine, separate your feet, flex your feet. Maybe you bring your arms next to your knees or your shins, reaching them forward, finding your boat pose. And your breath, boat and breath. And just enjoy here. Feel the embrace of the shakiness, if there is any. We're going to bring the palms together, feet together, knees together. Squeeze everything. Press those palms. Twist to your left. Extending through the spine with a little twist. And then slowly go to the other side. Finding your breath, back to center. Slowly lower your heels to the floor, palms down. Lower your body straight down to the floor. And then go and bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Walk your shoulders away from your ears. Reach your hands towards your heels or your ankles. You're going to press into your feet, find your bridge. Lengthen through the spine. Now, if you want, you can reach your arms over your head. Extra stretch here. And then as you lower your hips, bring your arms back towards the hips. And then you're back on solid ground. Now you're going to bring your arms to cactus arms. So the back of your hands are on the floor, your elbows are bent. Take your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, open up the knees, flex your right foot. Now you're going to shift your hips slightly to the left as you drop both knees to the right. So your right ankle is on top of your left thigh, and turn and look to the right, to the left, and just hold and pause here. Finding your breath. Enjoy that twist. Now you bring your head to neutral. Slide the knees back to where they were. The ankle is still crossed over the right. Realign the back. Take that same right leg, slide it tighter over the thigh, left thigh. So now your right knee, not your ankle, is over the thigh. Shift your hips slightly to the left and drop both knees to the right again. A little deeper twist. Look to the left. And just enjoy. You might feel a little difference here. Now if you want a little variation, get more into the belly. As the legs are twisted to the right, draw those knees slightly upward toward your right elbow along the floor. And breathe. And then slowly let the legs go back to neutral. Rotate your head to neutral. And then bring your foot back onto the floor as you uncross your right leg. Realign those feet. Level the back out. Take your left ankle over the right thigh. So just it's the ankle, rotate the ankle a little, and then flex it. Shift your hips slightly to the right as you drop your knees to the left. And then maybe look to the right. So again, twisting through the body. Kind of think of wringing out a sponge so you can rehydrate and re-energize and just feel so good. This is very good for the fascia tissue as we hold these stretches. One more breath. And then you'll bring your head back to neutral. And then make sure slowly bringing the foot back to the floor. Take your time coming back to center. Once the hips are back in alignment, you're going to take that left knee and slide it nice and tight over that right thigh. Shift your hips again slightly to the right so you can easily drop those knees to the left and look to the right. And the same thing goes on this side. If you want a little more, pull those knees upward towards your left elbow so your foot slides along the floor a little. Feeling the core and the belly work a little more. The obliques, sides of the waist. Muscles are working. Your connective tissue, called the fascia, throughout your body is hydrating. Improving your mobility, softening the tissue, lessening chance of injury. Slide that right foot back to where it goes. Head comes back to neutral. Bring your knees and hips, everything into alignment. And then uncross that left leg. Place both feet flat on the floor. Arms are still in cactus arms. Let's take another bridge, lifting those hips, lengthening through the spine. And then slowly lower both hips to the floor. And now we're going to hug the knees into the chest, hold at the wrist, forearms, or the elbows. Just give them a nice squeeze into the belly. And then lift your nose to your knees. Inhale. And then exhale the head back to the floor. Slowly release the feet to the floor. Palms come up next to the thighs, and then let your legs draw all the way down to the floor. Let them fall open. Walk your shoulders away from the ears. If you're comfortable, close your eyes for your final Shavasana. And just feel the energy running through the body. And just check in. Notice your breath. It's coming in and out through your nose. Feel your shoulders relaxing into the mat a little deeper. And then start to bring movement to the body, wiggling the fingers, the toes, moving the ankles and the wrists. And then draw the feet together, flex the heels, push the heels towards the front of the room or the mat, and reach the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, walk the feet in, and let's hold on to the shins or the knees with the hands and just pull the knees towards the body. A little rock side to side. Massage that low back. And then just turn on to either your right or left side and use your hands to push yourself all the way up. Lengthening and finding your easy seat. If you feel like you want to just stay on the floor for a little longer, feel free. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, align the chin. Palms down on the thighs, grounding your body to the earth. Feeling the energy running up the spine, out the crown of the head to the universe. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Just notice that energy. Hopefully you're energized. I'm feeling really energized and detoxified here. Take a deep breath in, reach those arms overhead. Exhale the palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.